The brand new Apple Watch 10 or the Apple Watch X, whatever you want to call it, is coming out this year with some cutting edge features that are going to make it look absolutely awesome. So, if you didn't know already, it's going to be the 10th anniversary of the Apple Watch this year. And normally when Apple get to a 10-year anniversary, they like to do something a little bit special. Just like we got with the iPhone, when we got to the 10th year of the iPhone, we got the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, and we had a brand new design there. And it looks like that this year with the Apple Watch 10, we could be getting a whole new design, a load of new cutting edge features, and I want to discuss all of them today. And first of all, let's talk about that design. So, as you can see right here, we've had a reporting from Mark Gurman who's saying that Apple are working hard on making a brand new whole design for the Apple Watch 10. We're not just talking about a simple little update to the design to make the screen a little bit bigger or to make it edge-to-edge screen or things like this. We're talking about a brand new whole design, what could be kind of a very similar kind of edges to what we have right now with the iPhone 15 models and the 14 models. So this would be more of a sort of a sharper edge than the softer edges all around the actual sides of the actual Apple Watch. So we could have something like this, or we could have something very similar to Concept Central, or the idea here where we actually have a more flatter design, thinner design with the Apple Watch 10, but still it probably look very similar in kind of the round edges to what we have with the current Apple Watch at the moment. The main thing though to take away from this is that the Apple Watch 10 is going to have a brand new design, and with that though, I'm afraid to say it doesn't look like at this stage there hasn't been many leaks or rumors come through to tell us that an actual round face of an Apple Watch is coming along. Maybe this might happen in the future, but I think the main constraint here is that most apps and everything like this have been designed for the square look of the Apple Watch that we have right now, and that all developers would have to update all their apps to work with the brand new kind of round design that exists if Apple did decide to change it to that. Maybe with new AI features coming out in the future, maybe apps could use an AI feature to sort of work with a round kind of face and then it'd fill in the gaps, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. But it's unlikely that this year with the Apple Watch 10 that we will see a round faced Apple Watch. So unfortunately, sad news there, we're still going to keep the kind of square rectangular look that we have at the moment. But moving on in Mark Gurman's report, something else what he talked about were the actual bands, and these are the sort of things that go around your wrist or the straps, whatever you want to call them, and it looks like that Apple are looking to redesign how these work again. Now we've actually, funny enough, had the same band design since the very first Apple Watch, and funny enough, if you have an Apple Watch band from the first Apple Watch back then and have a very similar sort of size face on your Apple Watch now, your actual bands are fully compatible. So we've actually had this sort of design for 10 years, and it looks like for the first time in 10 years, Apple are designing a new type of way how it will attach, and it looks like it's all to do with magnets, according to Mark Gurman's report right here. All I'll say is that it's going to have to be super strong magnets to hold it together, but maybe this could also be like a safety feature as well, that if something your watch got stuck somewhere, you know, around your wrist, that it will just yank off easier. Maybe that might be the better option here. We're not quite sure what Apple are trying to plan with this sort of magnets and things like this. It's very, very sort of vague in this report, but we'll have to wait and see. But the main thing I would say is that new Apple bands or Apple straps are coming with a magnetic design, and it's unlikely that the current bands that exist right now will be compatible with this new Apple Watch. And it does mean, unfortunately, that if you did buy yourself the first Apple Watch, say 2-3 years ago, with say the 7 or the 8, and then now you're looking to move your straps over, it does look like you have to start again. But for people who've been along now and had the same sort of straps for many years over those 10 years, yep, it's time for a change. And for once, I actually am going to give Apple credit here that they've actually kept the same sort of strap design for 10 years, because normally they like to update things quite quickly, and so yeah, they've kept it around for 10 years, so at least, you know, we've got to see the bright side on that one. Next of all, let's talk about the display the logic board, and also let's talk about battery life too, because they all go in hand here. We've been told we're going to be getting another new OLED display added to the Apple Watch. Maybe this will be similar to the iPad Pro tandem OLED that we have right now, or it could be something completely different again. But what we do expect with this OLED, it will be probably even thinner, and also at the same time it'll probably be even more efficient than what we have right now. And with that too, we're expecting a brand new logic board inside the Apple Watch, having the S10 chip inside of it. And we've been told it could have a resin-coated copper around it, allowing for an even thinner logic board, and this will mean that it'll be improved durability and even better water resistance around it. And because this logic board will be even thinner, it does allow for more space for other components inside this Apple Watch. So with this, the possibility of a larger battery inside the Apple Watch is more than possible. And then combining all three of these together, you can imagine probably we'll get a better battery life, maybe by an extra half a day. You heard me right there, half a day. Don't expect the Apple Watch to be giving us a 5 to 7 day battery life like other watches out there like from Garmin do right now. This is probably not going to happen. So yeah, just be aware of this. That if we do get any gains in battery life, we're probably going to be only expecting probably like say 6 to 12 hours extra battery life. That is it. Not even 6 days or 12 days extra battery life. So yeah, just be warned on that. But at the end of the day, any improvement is better than any. That's what I always say there. Next of all though, let's talk about the sensors that are going to be inside the Apple Watch. Now sadly I did talk about this in my last Apple Watch video, and that looks like that there won't be any kind of glucose sensor or diabetes or blood sugar sensor, whatever name you want to call it. It doesn't look like it's going to be coming in the Apple Watch 10 this time round. The good news is though, we have had reports in that Apple are working still on this. We've had proof of concepts and things like this that it can work, but it's just not ready to be implemented into an Apple Watch. So we may have to wait another year or two and before we actually get that sensor inside the Apple Watch this time round. But a new type of blood pressure sensor does look like it's being added, and this will be able to monitor things like hypertension and things like this. So this looks like this will be the brand new sensor that is going to be added into the Apple Watch this time round. And also at the same time, it does look like we're going to be getting some new sort of sensors and abilities to monitor your sleep. That's if you don't put your watch on charge every single night, knowing that it might die the next day. But the good news is that this is coming around too, that there's going to be more abilities to monitor your sleeping pattern, and also this new sort of blood pressure sensor as well. It does look like it's going to be a new feature on the Apple Watch 10 this time round. Next of all though, let's talk about the release date of when we can get our hands on these new Apple Watches. Now Apple Watches tend to normally be released at the same time as iPhones, and normally that's the beginning part of the teens of September or the mid sort of teens sort of time. So this is probably the sort of guessing of when it will probably actually happen based on the previous years of when Apple have done all their other events. So yeah, more than likely it's going to be around that kind of time when the announcement of the new Apple Watches and iPhones will be. However, when you'll be able to get them physically on your wrist or in your hands, whatever you want to call it, then it'll probably be the kind of end of teens or into the early 20s of September. So to be honest, it's not that far away now that we'll be able to get our hands on these brand new Apple Watches. Then moving on to price wise then, for the price, if we are going to be getting this brand new design from the ground up, then do expect a price increase here, guys. At the end of the day, we haven't had a price increase ever since, say, around the Apple Watch 4. That was the last time we actually had a price increase, and that's when we actually got a bit of a new design there with the Apple Watch. So expect the same again here, that we're probably going to get a price increase on both of the models, on the different sizes. So do expect that. So probably expect around about a $50 to $70 increase on the current prices that we have right now, because like I said, it has been a while since Apple have actually updated their prices, and since then the cost of living have gone up, parts have gone up, you name it, it's getting more expensive. So it's probably most logical to think that this is going to be happening this time round. And with that as well, guys, are you excited for this new Apple Watch? Are you going to be getting it, or do you think there needs to be some other kind of sensors that you'd love to see inside the Apple Watch first before you commit to getting a new one or even your first one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And also, guys, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. And if you've enjoyed watching this video too, please do press the like button as well. And with that, guys, it's time to go. So I'll see you soon. Bye bye.